What is up, Hookah University? Thank you for joining another episode of Smoking with Bob. How's everybody doing tonight? Raul, Jordan, Chris, Samir, what's going on? Thanks for coming on board. And what we're going to be doing tonight, let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to pack some Tangiers, and we're going to be smoking with some Tangiers Japanese coals, the silver tabs. So we're going to go and discuss the tabs. I am not going to do a side-by-side comparison between that and coconut coals. If you smoke Tangiers, most of us already smoke the Tangiers using coconut charcoal. I'm just going to discuss how the silver tabs work for me, and and what I thought of using them with Tangiers. And as we all know, this is the method that Tangiers expressly ask you to use when you smoke their tobacco. They want you to use the Japanese coals because it's a low heat charcoal. So I've smoked 2 bowls since getting the Japanese coals. I'm not going to go into how it came out for me. We're going to do it together, and I'll discuss that along the way. Hey Paul, Stefan, Tanner, thanks for coming. Rob, thanks for coming on board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over and we're going to start from scratch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build my hookah first, because first of all, we all have to remember, if your pipe is not put together right, you may have a problem in that area why your bowl's not smoking well, because there are people complaining that they're not getting enough smoke, they're not getting it's light. It could be the tobacco, it could be your hookah pipe. So I have a DSH heavy. I'm going to put it together in front of you. We're going to put it together, so let's build it, get the water level good, and then we're going to go ahead and start packing the bowl, and then we're going to smoke this together. Mike, Jeremy, Bracken, thanks all for coming. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to hand the camera over to the wife so she can record and I can discuss. So this will make it a lot easier for this live tonight. Jeremy, my brother, thank you. All right, so let's head over to my little station here, and I'm going to hand the camera over to my wife, and we can get started. All right, first of all, I've got the DSH Heavy here. I'm going to be smoking some Tangiers, number 21 blueberry, the original blueberry. We've got some cane mint. All right, and we've got the Tangiers branded silver tabs, okay? And I have the caliper here because I want to show you a couple things too. So first of all, most important thing when you're smoking any tobacco is you want to make sure that your hookah is set up properly, okay? And very important is your water level. So let's start building the hookah. We got the DSH Heavy, okay? We've got the heart here. So I'm just going to take a little water in here and get the grommet on. We'll slip this on, and then we'll start building from there. Make sure when you get your grommet on, it's fully up on the heart, okay? Make sure you're not covering any of your holes, okay? Next, we got the Purge Ball, right? So what I usually do is I put the Purge Ball in the cap here, turn it upside down, and put it on. There you go, your Purge Ball is in there, you're all good to go. All right, now we've got the up stem. Something kind of cool, if not many of you know this, with a DSH Heavy, you can make this into a mini, because I'm actually using the DSH Heavy molasses catcher as my bowl port. So as you see, if you want to make your DSH a small hookah, you can make it a small hookah, which is kind of cool. But anyways, that's for another video. So let's put this together. Alright, so I'm using the DSH Heavy molasses catcher. Alright, so we're all put together here. This is for my hose. Leave that here for now. And before I put the down stem in, let's get the water going. Alright, so make sure your water level, okay, folks, make sure if you're using a diffuser, just get it just above the diffuser line, or some of the down stems already have pre-cut lines in there to tell you where your water level should go, okay? This one doesn't, so just right above where you've attached your diffuser, and you'll be good to go, all right? So I've used this many times, so I know my water level on here where it's perfect is this silver stripe, this light one, this gray stripe here, right in the middle is where the water should be. And when I put this in, we should be at a perfect level. And I know I can't see your comments right now because my wife is taping, but I'll get back to your comments here after we start smoking this together, because right now we're focusing on doing this, and then once I grab the camera back, then I'll go ahead and I'll start answering your questions, okay?
Did you say hi?
All right, I got a little too much water in here. So you can go back here, just a splash. All right. Okay. You can read out some of the comments too, if you want.
Did
you don't
say
have to.
Hi?
Okay. All right. All right, there we go. So we've got a completed hookah. Everything is tight. So we're ready to go. Now let's put this in here and just make sure we get the water level right. And what you can do to make this a little bit easier, just wet your grommet. Make it a little bit easier to slip on. Good, take a little pull. Good. All right. Hookah is ready. Okay. All right. So, first of all, we're going to pack a bowl in a minute here. Just let's go over the silver tabs. Silver tabs are an instant lighting charcoal, but not an instant light charcoal that we know. There is no sulfur in here. It's coated with magnesium. That's the silver coating on here. They come in tabs like this. To use them, just take your two thumbs together, okay? Break them apart like that. Super easy, okay?
Yeah, they have a divider there.
Yeah. So these are how they work. When you use the silver tabs, okay, when you put them on your burner, or if you want to use a lighter to go, if you hold the lighter, just wait till it starts to go on its own. It's not going to flash up like the sulfur instant lights, okay? It will start to burn slowly. Just lay them in a tray and let them continue to burn. These are usable, okay, once the magnesium coating has burned off. And you see a red glow right through the middle here, the whole coal is lit up, then you're good to go. You don't want to put them on too soon, okay, or they'll go out. So make sure that they're fully lit, and they're fully lit once the coals are fully glowing red, orange, okay, and the magnesium is off, okay. To make sure that it's done, just pick it up with your tongs, blow on it before you put them on, and there should be no more magnesium left on top, okay.
Okay, let me show the box.
All right, so here they're asking to see the box. Okay, this is the Tangiers branded coals, okay. I know Fumari also has them. There's also some other brands out there. Do not, if you're going to use and try and use these Japanese coals, get the ones that are made in Japan. Do not get the ones made in China, okay? Get the ones that come directly from Japan, okay? So these are made in Japan. You want to make sure you get the ones from Japan, okay? See where it says right here? Made in Japan, all right?
Okay, open.
So this was $13.99. You can find this at Hookah Shisha, and Hookah Junkie sells the Tangiers branded ones. So they come with 96 in here, all right, and this is how they come. They come, okay, like this.
And another level.
You have another level. So there's a bunch in here, okay. So I've already smoked a few because I've had 2 bowls already. So that's how that works, all right. Now I am going to be using for foil tonight. I'm going to use the Zomo strong foil for my pack. All right, so I got blueberry, and we've got cane mint. All right. Now the silver tabs, they take less than 5 minutes to get going most of the time. And I want to show you something. Somebody made a comment to me the other day that my holes were too big on my bowl. Okay, and I am using this poker when I poke, and this is an average size poker. I do have a little bit finer one, okay, but with the low heat, you wanted to have a little bit larger of a hole, okay, to let the airflow go into that tobacco, okay? You don't want to use tiny toothpicks when using Tangiers. And I want to show you something. On the Tangiers website, okay, they do a lot of packing on their YouTube videos, okay? And when they pack, most of the time they poke their holes using an Oyster Fork, okay? And so I was like, let me see. So I was looking at the size of this poker and the size of the prongs on the Oyster Fork. So I took out my caliper. Unfortunately, my battery's dead, so we're going to do this old school. But so your poker is going to go in when you're doing your bowl. It's going to go to the bottom of the bowl. It's probably going to go that far down. Okay, so let's go down to here. Let me see the size opening. Okay. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that very closely. Okay. So that was your poker. Now let's go over to your Oyster Fork. Let's see if I can get in here. Okay. So this is your Oyster Fork. Okay. Right there, about that far down. That's about how deep your poker is going to go. That's about how far your fork would go. Okay. Same size. So, you know, my holes are not too big, and you know, and using this poker, this came from Germany. Okay, this poker, it's not an oversized poker. It's, you know, it's going to do the job, and you need a decent sized hole. I'm not talking about a mango size. Look, all right, here's another one I got from Germany. Look at the size of this poker. Okay, this is going to make some really big holes. I'm not using that. Okay, and I'm not going to use a smaller poker, which is going to keep the airflow a little bit too low. So this is the poker we're going to use tonight, all right? So let's go ahead and, let me see, let's grab my hose first. Let's get this set up, and I'm going to put this down. So I'm going to use the Derek Moses custom leather hose that I got, and I'll smoke with this tonight. Put this on the table, and then we're going to go pack a bowl. All right, put this down so we can be ready to go. All right. Use a mouthpiece. All right, we're in. All right, now let's go pack a bowl. Okay, so now we've got a cane mint over here, and then we've got the blueberry. Okay, so I'm going to do the clock method of Tangiers, how it was explained to me. Okay, you've got this part of you make the top part of your bowl 12 and go all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to do ratios here of cane and blueberry. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the cane mint. First of all, make sure you take your tobacco, mix it all up, okay? Make sure you aerate it, get the juices flowing again after it's been sitting. I like to use, a paint scraper works really good. One that's about that wide, and you sit here and go back and forth to scrape up all your juices. I don't have one right now, but a paint scraper works really good. If not that, use your Oyster Fork and just, you know, go ahead and get all the tobacco going and mixed up with all the molasses. Okay, make sure all the juices get back to life. Okay, smells amazing. It's cane mint. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna do it kind of the way. I'm not making this difficult, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna put it in there. I mean, I know there are lots of packing methods for Tangiers. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just doing what I know works best for me. And I've seen enough videos that I'm not exactly the way Tangiers does it. I'm not exactly the way some of the other folks do it. But I know it works for me, and I know how and what's most good for me. So when you're packing your Tangiers, make sure it's a dense pack, okay? Make sure that when you're done packing it, you left just enough room underneath the foil, okay, for some airflow, all right? And so let's just start packing it. I'm kind of in the same method of Hookah John. Just, you know, just throw it in there, okay? Dense it, and then you're good to go, all right? So let's go ahead. So I'm going to show you this pack here. After we get this in, then we'll go to the blueberry. Again, make sure it's dense pack, okay? Push down here from the center, push it up to the sides, add some more, okay? Pretty this thing up when we're done with the blueberry, all right? All right. You want to mix the flavors, rinse this off. All right. That's cane. All right, now let's go with the blueberry. Again, let's mix it all up. Make sure that we get all the juices flowing in here again. Mix up real well. Make sure if you are using Tangiers, you use the containers that they ask you to store this stuff in, okay? So you don't want it 100% tight seal, okay? This stuff needs to breathe a little bit, and these plastic containers give just enough breathing room for the tobacco, okay? So you don't want a real airtight container for this tobacco. So just make sure it's all mixed up well, all the juices are good in here, okay? All right. All right. Like John says, you know, it's not rocket science here. We just pack in a bowl. It doesn't need to be difficult. Remember, hookah is supposed to be enjoyable. It's not supposed to be anything that's going to stress us out. Okay. I use my finger a little bit, push it down. Make sure I've got a little lip here. It's dense packed. Make sure your spire, okay, it's got breathing room. It's not filled with tobacco, okay, before you get started, okay? All right. All right. Any big comments in there that anybody's asking for, Olga?
Yeah.
Let's take a look here real quick. The pack is so dense in my opinion. It's supposed to be dense. Alright, and now is there a reason why you're using such a spaced out bowl? Is this for the silver tab specifically? Okay, so I am using, okay, the Harmony bowl, okay? I usually use an 80-foot bowl. The reason I am using the Harmony bowl is because I do not have the Tangiers bowl, which holds a lot more tobacco. So to use a little bit more tobacco, I'm using this bowl. That's the only reason. It works really well. You can use this. It's going to be a lot longer smoke with this much tobacco in here, okay? But you can use any bowl you want as long as it's a funnel bowl, okay? So I've used the, I typically smoke Tangiers, okay, when I'm with flats or cubettes in an 80-foot bowl. That's the Hookah John way. Most of the time I do that as well. So, but tonight I'm using it on the Harmony bowl, okay, because I don't have a deeper funnel bowl. That would be the Tangiers bowl, okay? So, that being said, take your foil, okay, put it on, take your palm, remember how, I don't know, I'm older than most of you, back in the day your wallet used to have a ring from the condiment being inside of it. That's how this should look when you're done. So, I mean, that's what we're looking for, okay, see that, there we go. So, now that you got that in there, I'm going to start tightening it around. And like I said, everybody has their own method. As long as it's working for you, you're getting the flavor, you're getting the smoke, you're getting what works. That's what matters. I mean, I'm not going to belittle you if you do it a different way. I'm using a lot of the methods that Tangiers has on their website. It's not 100% the same way they do, but it's close, okay? And as long as you follow their packing methods and the methods that work for you, it works. This method works very good on the 80-foot bowls that I do, and I've never had an issue, with flats. I've used cubes even. As long as you're keeping the heat level down. If you're using cubes, okay, make sure that you go ahead and, if you start off with 3 to get it going, once it gets going, probably drop 1 down, okay, because this tobacco, once it starts to burn, you lost your bowl, okay? All right, so now I'm going to take the poker. I'm going to just go around, okay? And nothing special. Just make sure you're hitting the bottom, okay, of your bowl. Now I know on the Tangiers website they use the Oyster Fork to do the holes, okay? You can use anything you want. It works, okay? Alright. There we go. Alright folks, so there's your pack bowl. Nothing crazy about it. Not the best pack, not the worst pack, but it's gonna have the job completed, and then you'll be okay. Alright? So bowl is done. I'm gonna put the tabs on now, okay? And then I'm gonna show you how all this is gonna work. Alright, so basically it shouldn't be more than 5 minutes or so. They say it could take up to 7 minutes. I've been with my burner. 7 minutes has worked pretty good for me, so it hasn't been too bad. But let me clean this up while we're waiting for the coals. I'm going to grab the camera. I'm going to start looking at your comments here. I appreciate your patience while we're doing this. I'm just trying to make this video a little bit more where you can see than me holding the camera all the time and trying to talk and discuss at the same time, all right? This is my standard set of coals here. I've got Hookah John titanium cubes, Superior Cocoa flats. I got Superior Cocoa cubettes, okay? And I got the extra large Shaman coals, all right? So, and of course now we've got the Tangiers, okay, Japanese coals. So, I'm gonna grab the camera from my wife here, and then I'll start taking some questions while we're waiting here. All right, let's see. I told my mom it was lucky silver dollar. She didn't believe me. All right. Let's see. I can never get it properly with an Oyster Fork. Yeah, I'm not good with that too, Raul. I mean, that's why I use a poker. Tangiers uses an Oyster Fork. Exactly, Wayne. So that's why I wanted to show the size of my poker with the Oyster Fork, that it was identical in thickness. So the holes are not going to be any bigger than what I was using. And remember, when you're using silver tabs, they're low generating heat coals. Okay, so you got to have some airflow going through your foil, or it's not going to burn correctly. Let me see. No Starlight brand. Yeah. Hey Travis, how are you? And Alex, how you doing? And let's see. Wayne says, hi Olga, the awesome camera woman.
I try.
Yeah. So Olga, say hi. Say a quick
Hi,
hello.
guys.
All right. There's the love of my life, who is my camera woman so far today. And so, all right, I'm gonna go put my bowl on the hookah right now, and we'll get started here in a second. Now, let's talk about the silver tabs some more, okay? Silver tabs, how long do they last? Typically, the silver tabs are going to last between 12 to 15 minutes, okay? So if you're outside, you got a lot more wind, or if you're using a wind cover, they're gonna burn quicker, okay? But you're doing it inside, they're definitely not gonna take as long. All right, now I'm doing this indoors. I heard so much about how they smoke and they smell. Now I'm going to ask my wife, because she sits up here all the time and smokes with me, okay? And she does my coals, my charcoal, the coconut coals all the time. Now I'm going to ask you, does this smell any worse than, let me turn the camera out. Does this smell any worse or better than the coconut coals, or about the same?
They're not smelling, no?
So it's not smelling to you,
Uh-uh.
right? So they're not creating any extra smell in the house?
No.
Not at all, right?
No.
Okay, that's what I felt. So there's an unbiased opinion. We all love that word, unbiased.
And a
Right.
cool girl.
Yeah, and she's the coal girl, okay? So she's really good at doing my coals. So she does not do that. Okay, so look, these, I'm going to show you something here. These look like they're almost ready. Now, how you check to see if they're ready, okay, is you sit here. I'm going to let my wife grab this. I'm going to show you real quick. All right, you hold that. Take these, okay, make sure that the ends are glowing all the way through. You see that? How that's blowing off? When that blows off and you look and they're glowing red all through the middle, you are ready to go. See that? All off?
I
Good.
didn't do that.
So that's how you do it. Makes a little mess, but that's how it works. All right?
I just picked them up.
So I know, right? But you got to get that off, okay? So that's part of the processes, all right? So let's go get these going here, and I'm going to blow as we're going. All right. Now, Tangiers, what they recommend a pattern like this, okay, which I'm going to show you right now. Kind of a square pattern, okay? This is how they recommend it. So, I'm following their recommendation right now, using silver tabs. See, this one wasn't ready to go. Burnt it out. See, I'm still learning here, folks. So, hold on one second. Almost there. All right, here we go. Now I'm using 4, okay? Give these a minute. Let's grab the camera over here, Olga, and I'm going to face the camera towards me, and we'll start smoking this. All right, thanks. Let's fix this camera. All right. Let me read some of these more comments here. Good clouds, everything's going well. Rose says, do you find you can taste the coal if you don't blow them off initially? You know, I'm blowing them off. So the first time I did do it, I didn't blow it off because I wasn't sure if I should or not, and I didn't have any coal taste in my mouth. I'm not tasting that instant light flavor, you know, that you get when you use instant lights. It's completely different to me. It's burning. I taste my flavor of my tobacco right now. As you all know, I've got a very clean hookah, a fresh hose. I packed the bowl. And again, they recommend the square format on your bowl using these coals. And when you go ahead and you want to replace these coals, because you don't have to sit here and look at your watch, okay? You're gonna know when it's starting to go down, okay? You don't have to say, oh, I got 12 minutes left before I have to put more coals. Listen, you're gonna start feeling the smoke dying down, and you're gonna see it in your base. So at that point, it's time for new coals. What I've been doing is I've just been putting some more tabs on on the burner while I'm smoking. After 15 minutes, it's just about done. I just throw them back on there, and that's it. The only problem that I've had with silver tabs is it's a pain in the ass to have to keep changing out these coals. Now I have been informed that Tangiers is working on making a longer lasting, larger, square Japanese coal that should go hopefully a half hour or a little bit longer. If that's the case, that would be great. These actually would be very good for me because I travel all the time and I'm on the road, all right? And I am not taking instant light coals with me on the road, and it's very hard to bring a burner. So these I can take with me and I can smoke Tangiers, and I'm not going to feel yucky or get a headache. I have not yet to get a headache. My hookah lounge is not stinking like instant lights make your room smell. I know others here had other experiences, okay? I'm not taking that away from anybody. We all smoke the way we like, and maybe my nose is broken, maybe I don't smell it, but I got Olga here and she's not smelling anything either. But you see, I'm getting very good cloud output. Tastes wonderful. And I got cane mint, and I've got original blueberry number 21 going right now, and it's smoking wonderful. Let's see. Hi Oliver, how are you? Thanks for coming. Doesn't matter if you're late, you could always rewatch later on. Jordan says, I used to use ring charcoal to light my silver tabs. Hey, if you got to do that, you can too. But I mean, all you need is a lighter. If you don't have a burner, which I don't plan on carrying a burner when I go out flying on Saturday, I'm just going to bring a lighter with me, and that's it. You will go through, if you're going to plan on smoking a long session, you're going to go through a lot of tabs because, if you're replacing them, right now I'm using 4 for this size bowl. For the 80-foot bowl, I can get away with 3, okay? I need 4 with this size of a bowl. But, you're going to go through a lot of tabs. So if you're using 4 every 15 minutes, you do the math, okay? So, and a box comes with 96 in them for $13.99, all right? So it is a costly coal to use. But is it smoking well? Absolutely. Do I have great flavor? Absolutely. Am I getting coal in my mouth like I would with traditional ring instant lights? No, I'm not getting that. Jeremy says, if you're allergic to something metal, I would suggest against using them. Okay, Jeremy, good advice. Like I said, I am just here to give you my experience using silver tabs. I am not telling you that this is the way you have to go, this is the way you have to smoke, okay? We all smoke what we like and like what we smoke. Does this mean because I had a good experience with silver tabs that I probably won't be using coconuts? Absolutely not. I'm going to still smoke Tangiers with coconut coals. I tend to use flats or cuvettes, and I usually use Flavor Saver or Provost, and sometimes I smoke right on foil. Okay, but I get a good experience with a Provost or with a Flavor Saver. But it started up right away, and that's the way Tangier says that if you've packed your bowl correctly and you lit your coals correctly, it should start smoking immediately, just as if you're using coconut coals on your foil, right? It starts burning right away. So, and that's what we did. There's no startup time. Hey, Greg, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining. Look, we got so many enthusiasts here. And believe me, when everything came to a head, 2 weeks ago with people started complaining about not getting flavor with Tangiers, and everyone started discussing the Tangiers brand, about that they've gone downhill, that the batches have changed, and then Travis came back saying the recommended way of using smoking Tangiers is with silver tabs. I came back at Travis and I said, hey, look, I said, you expect me to go out and just buy silver tabs just to smoke your tobacco? To me that sounded crazy. But I'm an open-minded guy. I think we should all stay open-minded, okay? And I said, I'm not going to make a decision that silver tabs suck just based on what somebody else is telling me. Don't base your opinion on silver tabs but what I'm telling you. Just because I'm saying they're good for me right now doesn't mean they're going to be good for you. I want everybody to go out and experience. We're here to learn. That's why we're called Hookah University, okay? And so go out there and, buy stuff and form your own opinion. I've seen people just come flat out say, silver tabs, gross. And that was my initial thought. I'm like, oh my God, I can't smoke that shit because it's going to give me a headache. And I do not want to take the chance of getting a headache. I feel great. I don't feel nauseous. I have no headache. It's working. It's smoking really, really good. Let me just show you what the coals are looking like right now as we've been going. So that's how they're looking. Okay. And I don't have any smoke barreling out of the top. Just like anything, you can overheat your bowl even with the Japanese coals if you put too many on there. So remember that. So if you're going to try the Japanese coals, don't put too many of them, or you're going to burn your bowl, and then you're going to be up shit's creek. So you can overheat anything. So just make sure that you're being smart with your coals. Okay. I would recommend, if you're using an 80-foot bowl or let's say a stone bowl, start off with 3, or you could start with 4, and if it's hot right away, pull one off. Okay, but you don't want to leave it on there and ruin your session. But remember, you got to experience this for yourself. You've got to go out and try things. Okay, don't ever let anybody persuade you whether that a tobacco sucks or a coal sucks. You got to try it for yourself and form your own opinions, okay? Because whatever works for me may not work for you, okay? So, and vice versa. So go ahead and try the things that work. And if you hear about a product, form your own opinion. Don't let others form them for you. So, go ahead and do it. And you get a good experience, you can tell people. If you had a bad experience, you can tell people. Because everybody wants to know the good and the bad, okay? But just because, some people say something is bad doesn't mean it's bad. You may have a different opinion when you try it. But let's see. Watching from Belgium. Love to tune in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. It doesn't, absolutely right. It doesn't make sense to buy silver tabs for just Tangiers. Not that I'm blasting away silver tabs. No, I get it. I mean, if all you smoked was Tangiers and no other tobacco, and this worked for you, go for it. But I'm gonna keep silver tabs in my house because I've got everything else. I've got a collection, and they work well for me, and they're going to work well for me when I travel and I go fly on the road. I can bring my travel hookah with me, and now I have an option of how I can sit outside my hotel and smoke without carrying a burner with me. And I would never do that before with instant light charcoal. These Japanese coals, they're working well. They're not stinking, and I don't have any headache. And I really get a good taste of the tobacco, even like when I use my my flats or my cuvettes using coconut coals. Love, would you put 4 more tabs on for me?
Yeah.
My partner is going to get me some more tabs going on. I'll show you the base too. So you can see the base is filled with smoke. So the clouds are starting to run down a little bit now, so I'm having Olga put some more on, and that's how it works, you know. I'm not 100% schooled on the process of making instant lights and Japanese coals. I do know that instant lights have sulfur, and I'm 99% sure there's no sulfur in the Japanese coals. I could be wrong. I do know that they're coated with magnesium to get them lit. You want to make sure that coating is burned off before you start using them, and then throw them on. Make sure that you look at the tabs and make sure that they're glowing right down the center. Then you're good to go. And Paul says totally 99% of hookah smokers are using coconut coals. Absolutely true statement, Paul. We all enthusiasts. What do? We use coconut coals, and that's how we smoke. We've learned to adapt Tangiers to the way we smoke, okay, and get good experiences. And you will get a great experience even using coconut coals. Tangiers recommends using silver tabs. That's their right to tell us that's how they recommend you use their coals. There's nothing wrong with their method. That's the way they do things. Eric and Travis, they do a great job over there at Tangiers. I love their tobacco. I've been a fan of Tangiers for a very long time now, and even with all this time smoking Tangiers, I've never used their method of using Japanese coals. So when someone started talking about this the other day, I said, let me go out and buy some. Let me try for myself, okay? So that's what I did. Went out and tried it for myself, and they're working. Let's see, I would agree, but say 99% of hookah enthusiasts use coconut coals. People who are casual lounge smokers without a lot of our culture still use quick lights. Very true. But the difference is this is not a quick light. I mean, it will light up on like a quick light, but it's not made in the same processes of a quick light. So you won't get the headache. You won't get that giant stench when they light up, okay? And the sparking that happens when you light a quick light, okay? This lights and it just starts going until they're ready. A lot of knowledge of our culture, I meant. Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. No, they're not. Let's see. Sally says, I don't think silver tabs are truly quick lights like Three Kings. They're not, because the Three Kings quick lights are made of sulfur, okay, and these don't have sulfur in it, so there is a difference there. So there is a difference, and I think that's. I was really nervous to use the silver tabs because I didn't want to get a raging headache, and I really get bad headaches using a quick light. And come on, let's all admit it. We all started smoking quick lights. I mean, anybody who's become an enthusiast started from the beginning, and that was quick lights and a cheap ass hookah from a gas station. That's where it all began. And then we ramped up our love from there, and we started learning about our hobby. And when you learn, this is where you get to grow. So the only way you're going to grow is by trying. Like I said, don't always take other people's opinions. You don't have to take my opinion that these worked well. Okay, try it for yourself. Buy a box. Go out. I know if you want to get the Tangiers branded Japanese coals, Hookah Junkie has them for $13.99, and Hookah Dachisha has them also for $13.99. Buy a box, try it out, and see what you think. And that's the only advice I can give you. Okay, so sorry. Anyways, that was my daughter ringing my phone. But so go ahead and and try it for yourself and form your own opinion, folks. Because forming your own opinion is what is going to make you a better enthusiast. Okay. Let's see. David Harris. This is a bamboo coal with an accelerating agent due to the process of magnesium and aluminum making a chemical reaction. Thank you, David, for filling me in on that. I knew the magnesium. I didn't know about the aluminum. Jeremy talked about the aluminum earlier. Yeah, totally, Sally. Paul says, I think we are all saying the same thing. It's the only solution people having issues with Tangiers is that they aren't using the right coals. I think that's an issue for a lot of enthusiasts. Should the brand adjust to our smoking style, or should the consumer go the extra mile to do it the recommended way? Look, as an enthusiast, I told you I'm going to continue to use coconut coals. I will use silver tabs when I'm on the road and stuff. I don't have a problem with either one. As long as you don't, when you're using the coconut coals, you're going to have to watch your heat distribution, okay? And you should have a good smoke. Look, we all know Hookah John, right? How he smokes his. He just throws his shit in, foils it, very similar to the way that Eric packs his bowl, okay, at Tangiers, pokes his holes, throws his flavor saver on there, 4 cubettes, and he's out smoking. And I've smoked with John personally a few times now, and that's how he does it, and we have a good session. That being said, just watch your heat management. Use what you think is best for you. Like I said, I think that these quick lights, I wouldn't call them quick lights, these Japanese coals, okay, work. They don't smell, in my opinion. I don't get a taste out of it. I don't have a problem using them. And I will continue to use them when I need to. And I will continue smoking Tangiers with coconut coals because I'm an enthusiast and that's what I do. So you folks do the same thing. Does anybody have any more questions? Let's see. Bracken says, I get Tang to work well with non-silver tabs. So absolutely, Bracken. And that's what we're talking about. Can you use coconut coals, even though it's not the recommended method asked by the Tangiers folks? Absolutely, and you're going to get a good session. Okay, we know this. I mean, everybody who's an enthusiast who smokes knows this. It works. Okay, yeah, it's not a recommended method. I think the problem is people who are non-enthusiasts that are getting into the Tangiers game. Okay, for the first time. Okay, they do not know heat management. That's a big problem. And they fill their bowls up, okay, and they pack them not correctly, probably because they've never done it before, and they start using these giant cubes, and all of a sudden they've burnt their bowl, and they're going, oh shit, this tastes horrible, okay? I think Tangiers, if you're new to the Tangiers game, starting with the silver tabs, before heat management is going to be a lot better help for you. Okay, so if you're new to smoking Tangiers and you're not very good with your heat management game, grab the silver tabs so you know what you're doing, and then slowly work your way into using flats and cubettes, or even just cubes. Just using maybe 2, 3 to get started. Take one off and drop it down to 2. Pull the coals to the side so you're not burning your bowl, and you'll be fine. But what I'm saying is silver tabs will be good if you're new to the game with Tangiers, especially for those who don't know heat management. I think it's a very good thing to do.
Can I add something? What I like about them, when you break them, your hands stay clean.
Oh,
yeah.
Olga likes the fact that when her hands are clean, when you break them apart, that you don't get coal dust on your hands. As the woman who does the coals in the house, okay, she's got an opinion, and she likes that.
Because I usually touch my face.
Yeah, so usually she touches her face, it's dirty, she says. Let's see. But they don't need to adjust the product given the coconut coals work just fine. Maybe just adjust their recommendation or attitude towards coconut users. Let's see. And David Harris says, just don't buy any brand. Watch out as costs for these style coals are normally significantly higher. Very true statement, David. Oliver says, exactly. Maybe they are not used to the nicotine level. I use coconut coals all the time. I have no problems at all. As we've been all saying here at Hookah University, that there isn't a problem smoking Tangiers with coconut coals. We all know this. It's usually a user error that comes to be the problem, okay? And I'm not saying there aren't bad batches of tobacco that have come out, because there are, okay? And I'm sure we've all experienced a bad batch. But in my lifetime so far, I've had one bad batch of Tangiers, and Eric rectified it, okay? So it could happen. And my batch came right when they were moving factories between California and Arizona. So that's what happened with me. But since then, I've had great sessions using Tangiers, and it's smoking great. Flavor profiles are good. Again, that is my personal experience with Tangiers. So, like I said, we just got to go out there and experience things. And I know Tangiers is hard set on telling us to use these Japanese coals. As one of your moderators and as an enthusiast, I'm going to say, do what you like what you smoke, and you'll be good to go either way. The silver tabs work. Us enthusiasts who use coconut coals, they work. We all know it. One thing I do have to tell you that I tried, if you let a bowl go out, you're not going to relight it with your coconut coals, right? You just it went out, go start it. If you walk away and everything goes out, you're going to not come back and relight it. I made a little experiment yesterday. I let my silver tabs go out. 15 minutes later, I went back and I threw a new set of tabs on, and it smoked as if it was a brand new bowl, which is something I would never do with coconut coals. That was a different experience. I was told from the Tangiers folks that they do that all the time, and without anything bad happening. And I wanted to try that, and I didn't have anything bad happen either. It lit up again well and smoked well. And they have 100-gram bowls, and they're really deep packing their bowls. And I've heard them talk about 12-hour bowls, and that's not for me, but that's what we've been told. All righty. Well, anybody have any more questions before we wrap up this review of the Tangiers and silver tabs? Alrighty. Well, listen, there is another live review tonight coming from Rob Bacaro tonight, and hopefully I pronounced your last name correctly, Rob. Rob will also be doing a silver tab coconut coal comparison smoke tonight. So if you have a chance to drop in on Rob tonight and watch his live, go for it, and maybe you'll learn something new from him as well. So that's what it's all about, coming on these lives to sit here and learn more. And like I said, go out, try things for yourself, form your own opinion, and then decide what you want to do. Okay? Again, my opinion is not the Bible. It's just my opinion and what worked for me. Anyways, everybody at Hookah University, thank you for joining Smoking with Bob once again. I appreciate all of you. Love you all. Stay safe out there. Stay corona free. Cheers.